Hi guys, the name is Mark, and well, I'm talking about things. If you're within yourself, then you're without, right? So you're within, and you're not without. You follow me, people? Okay. Otherwise, you'll always be without because you're not within. You see the quagmire paradoxes here, right? You're being in the left brain hemisphere and the right brain at the same time, and you're double parked in a parallel universe, and we have a quagmire of paradoxes. So when you remain silent, okay, and silent, the anagram is listen. And so when you remain silent and you listen and you just remain wherever you are, you know what I mean? You don't have to be going anywhere, right? Then you're anywhere, you're any here. That's not good. You want to be nowhere, you want to be now here, okay, people? So simply put, what you guys will find when you're quiet and you're silent, what'll happen is things will start flowing a lot more because there's this energetic contractual frequency going on, and things will flow more. And you'll notice that people who might not have talked to you will start coming up to talk to you out of nowhere. Things will just magically show up on your doorstep without you thinking about it. It's really bizarre. And so just when you're simply being and you're being quiet, so you're not trying to make a living because we are a living. You follow me, people? Okay. So when you're simply just trying to be and you're being quiet and you're being silent because now you're listening, okay, and sometimes you're not even listening, you're just being quiet without unintentionally listening, okay. And so what happens is people will come up to you and just like things will pop up and appear out of nowhere. And at the same time, this might also, you being at peace and you being at ease with yourself, may put other people at dis-ease with themselves, okay, people? And so what happens then too is that that's just the energetic flow, and that can also keep a lot of evil away from you. You follow me, people? Right? So if you being at peace and your peace and being at ease intimidates and scares somebody, that's egg on their face. That's their problem, not yours. And there's nothing you can do about that because you're not inside of them, okay? And so technically too, like a prime example, I was talking with a buddy, and he was somewhere, and he's always been looking after his kids, and he wasn't really looking for a relationship. And just he was flowing with things. And at one point too, he was really ill for like a long time, almost 3 years and stuff. So he had started coming out of that spin, and he started living. And anyhow, he was somewhere, and there was this woman there. And anyhow, a lot of guys were talking to her and all this stuff. And mildly put, like, he was just sitting there minding his own business, being quiet, just listening to everybody. This is what he was telling me. And I said, yeah, yeah. And he says, yeah. And he says, and then I don't know how long went by. He says, but some time had went by. And he says, and then she come up to talk to me. And so then, he says, so we got talking. And then, well, he thought to himself, well, might as well pull out a chair for her, if we're going to rather stand here and talk, right? So anyhow, she sat down, and, they introduced themselves. And it turned out, well, she gave him his number, and they met again. And apparently she asked him, she said, how come you didn't come talk? No, he said to her, sorry, he said, what made you decide to come talk to me? And she said, well, she says, you were the only guy who didn't try to come talk to me. And he went, oh, well, kind of, what's that mean? And she says, well, she says, everybody was trying to impress me with this and impress me with that and telling me this and telling me that and trying to get my attention. And she says, you didn't. You see that, people? He wasn't looking for attention. He wasn't trying to get attention. And she wasn't looking for attention neither, while everybody was trying to perform and give her attention. So everything was about the show, the performance, and not just the simple frequency of being, and not about the performance and putting on the show. You follow me, people? So you have to be careful, because your law of attraction, if you're putting on a show, you're going to get a shit show in return, okay, people? So these are the laws of these frequencies, right? And simply put, it can go two ways. You'll become like a magnet, and all the calm and the nice people and stuff, they'll just come your way, man, and things will flow. And at the same time, yeah, you may disturb somebody's demons, but you're not the one disturbing their demons. Their demons are within themselves, because they're without. They're always without. They're not within. You see the paradox here, and that's where the shit show comes. And usually that'll keep them away from you. And sometimes they'll hate you so much that they will come flying at you. But that's where you remain silent and you don't acknowledge their nonsense. It would be like somebody saying to me, "Oh, well, Mark this, Mark that, and well, what do you think?" And no, I'd say, well, no, what do you think? And then it puts it back on them. You see what I mean? So instead of me taking in their energy and their energetic nonsense, now it's putting them back on them. Like this one guy who was staying at our house, I'm laying bricks and stuff for a walkway out in the back deck, and he sat there and watched. He says, "Oh, he says, at the end of it, and watching me work, he says, "Oh, well, maybe I should have kind of got up and helped you." I said, "Why?" He says, "Oh, I feel a little guilty that I didn't help you." And I says, "Well, that's on you, man, not me." Right? He could have helped me, and at one point there was another time where he said something to me, and I says, "Well, it's up to you." See how I put it back on him? It's up to you. In other words, if you decide you want to do something, cool. If not, cool. I don't care. That's on you, not me, because what I'm doing is on me. It's in me. It's within me. Okay? So this is why I can't emphasize this enough. Being silent puts this protective bubble around you, and this bubble is also your law of attraction, and it can attract like some super magnificent things. And at the same time, like if it's disturbing somebody's demons, well, that's not your concern. In life, there's only one law that you'll ever need, and it's called integrity. And in fact, if you have integrity, it's not a law, nor is it something you need. As within, so without, people. I can't emphasize this enough. So I just wanted to share that, yes, there can be the paradox of where you're disturbing some people's energies, and they're always looking at you, and they're trying to figure you out, and they're perplexed, and they're always of the mind, and they're thinking, and that's why they're thin. They're a thin king. They're not as king, okay? You follow me, people? So once again, remain in the center, the presence which is you. It's not about performance. It's not about being awesome or crazy, driving crazy cool sports cars and all this other shit and trying to pick up women. That's not what it's about. What it's about is being quiet. And when you're quiet, I can't emphasize this enough. Stuff will magically come to you, and you'll also notice that you're making more of a difference in people's lives because they want your presence. They don't care about your bullshit words and all that. Talk is cheap, silence is golden, and actions speak louder than words, right? And you can perform in silence. You don't have to be loud about it, right? I swear some people, the minute they have silence, man, they're turning on the TVs, they're turning on the news, they're turning on their stereos. You know what I mean? They're driving into their car. They haven't even woke up yet, and they got the music going. And you know what, people? It's noise. It's all white noise. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes there's a time and place for noise and that, but you'll always find when you're quiet, man. It's like being with your dog. Are you talking to your dog all the time? No. If you just had a baby, would you be talking to your baby all the time? Goo goo gaga. You know how stupid you would sound, right? As opposed to you just had a baby and you're holding the child and you're looking at the child with complete awe, going, wow. And that's the miracle of life, people. It's simply being in amazement of things, right? Rather than always of the mind, oh, this fucking guy at work there yesterday and this and that. You know what? Learn to turn it on him. Oh, well, you don't want to help me? Okay, that's fine. You sure you don't want to help? Now you just put it back on him. You see how you always counter with the question, you sure you don't want to help? You follow me, people? So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope this finds you well. I don't even know what to call this video, but it's basically we're back to the frequency of being silent and listening. And once you have this, I can't emphasize this enough, you have green lights. And you'll start realizing that even people who you thought you were friends, you take the R out of friend and you have fiend. So are they fiends or are they friends? You follow me? And situations will just start naturally sorting out who your friends are, and don't worry about who you lose by the wayside if they're always perplexed and of the mind and trying to figure you out. That's not a true friend. A true friend would really know you, and they're your friends, and even if you did have a falling out, it's no big deal because that's still your friend. You follow me, people, nothing changes. You ever meet people where, like, it's like, wow, you met your soul brother or your soul sister, right? That's why they're stars, sisters, youngsters, right? You'd get a gold star in school, but you'd meet these people and it's like you've known them for lifetimes, man. And why is that? You wouldn't even say anything and you'd be thinking something and they would just say, hey, you're thinking, wow, man, I want a pizza. And they're like, you want to go for a pizza? This is how it goes, people. I can't emphasize this enough. And this is the laws of silence, okay, people? They're universal, multiversal, whatever you want to call them, cosmic friggin' creator, the ether laws, okay? And that's why we're breathers. Just remain in the moment and please, people, stay quiet. Shut up. That's all I can say, okay? Anyhow, cheers, bye, peace. I love you all. Namaste. And well, till then, amen. Keep your heads up and your sticks on the ice. Bye, peace.